everyone, it's Hailey, and today I'm going to be, well, not today, for the next month I'm going to be doing a video series where I read 100 pages of a book every single day for an entire month. So I did choose February as my month, to be honest, but it is still like we're starting off on a hard note because today I've been super busy. It's already 12 p.m. and normally I would have already read like 50 pages so far because I have been aiming for 100, but I've been being kind of lax about it. But this month, like, I really want to make sure that I'm hitting 100 pages every single day and see like the effects of that, if I benefit from it, if it makes me feel kind of sluggish with my reading. It really depends. But yeah, I had a later start to the day today, and it also was a day where we had just a bunch of errands to run. So we're starting off with a challenge because a lot of days I just make my own schedule and I can squeeze it in like quite a bit of reading time, but today I'm kind of struggling to get everything done. So I'm starting off with You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson, and my starting point for this is page 166 today. So I will get to page 266, which I think is actually about the end of this book, and that will be my stopping point. Like, obviously if I want to read more, then I'll read more. It's just I want to make sure that I'm getting to 100 pages. So I'm going to go and actually take some time to read now. But yeah, I'm really excited to start this challenge because I feel like I can read 100 pages in, like, it depends on the book. Like, this is going to be a quicker one, but usually it takes me like an hour and a half to 2 hours. It kind of depends on my focus level, like things like that. But this one should be one that's pretty quick, so we shall see. Hello, so I wanted to give you guys a little update on my 100 pages a day for a month challenge. So it's been going really well so far. So I have already, we're on the 3rd of the month, and I have already finished 2 books. So that's super exciting. Like, the first day of this challenge, I was like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to read 100 pages because it was just a really busy day. But I ended up actually finishing with this book, and I read more than 200 pages, I'm pretty sure. I just want to double check in my note. Yeah, so day 1, I read 220 pages. Day 2, I read 115 pages because this one was actually kind of a slower read than I was expecting, but I did end up finishing it today, and so far I'm at like over 200 pages for today as well, I think. I'm not exactly sure yet. So now I'm just trying to decide like what I'm going to read next. This isn't even counting audiobooks. Like, I haven't done any audio listening, but this is just from my physical reading, which is super exciting. Like, audiobooks also count, but I just haven't really been in a listening mood. So this has just been going super well. Like, I'm really happy with it so far. I've kind of gotten down a routine of starting my day every morning with reading and then ending my day with reading. And it's nice bookends to my day, and it's making reading 100 pages a lot easier because I can kind of do like 50 in the morning, 50 at night if I need to, but I've been surpassing that, obviously. So I don't really know what I'm going to read next. Maybe challenge myself with something that might be a little bit denser and a little more difficult to get to 100 pages, or keep going with like some kind of quicker, easier reads. We'll see. Hello. So we are officially a week into my little experiment, and I have been successful every single day so far, which is awesome. But in addition to that, I'm pretty sure every single day, except for the very first day, I have finished my 100 pages like in the morning before I even really start my day or start doing anything. So that wasn't really my intention, but that's kind of just how it's been going. Like, partially because I'm worried that if I wait, I might not finish it, but also it's just been a really nice way to start my day. Like, the very first thing that I do is read while I'm drinking my coffee, and it's been very enjoyable. So I have moved on to my 5th book for this month, and it is the 7th of February. Wow. But I am reading Spin the Dawn. I have already finished my 100 pages for today, so I am past that now, and I have like 100 pages left, almost exactly, actually, because I was seeing like how long the book was. So I have like, I don't know if I might read another 100 pages today because I have finished most of my work for the day. We shall see. But yeah, I'm like, this has been way more successful than I was expecting it to be. So it is time for a little update. It is the 11th day of my little read 100 pages a day challenge, and I've been doing super well up until today. So today it is 7 p.m. now, actually, and I haven't gotten my 100 pages done. I'm currently on page 53, so I'm like halfway there, but I finished with Take a Hint, Danny Brown. That one was super easy, and then yesterday when I finished that, I didn't know what I wanted to pick up, so today when I woke up, I still didn't really have anything planned to pick up, and then I ended up going for this one, and I just have had a lot of distractions today, and I've been saving my reading time for now, but the new episode of Drag Race UK also just came out, so I kind of want to watch that first, which is why I'm like very pink lit right now, is because I have the TV on watching that. So since I am like halfway through my pages, I think I will still be able to read it because I don't have anything else going on for the rest of the night. It's just been kind of like a busier day, so today was definitely a challenging day as far as my 100 pages go, but I am still really enjoying this challenge. It is interesting, like I also woke up later today because I've been getting up at like 5:30 every day, and the first thing I do is read, but today that's not what happened. I didn't start reading until this afternoon, so it has kind of thrown me off just a little bit, but I am planning to get my 100 pages done today. It's just going to be a little bit later than I had anticipated, but I think once I get like further into this read, I should be good. It's just the combination of I've been busy and I didn't know what I wanted to read because I was like, well, it's near Valentine's Day, I feel like I should go for a romance, but then I wasn't really feeling that, so I went for a fantasy, and I just, by the time I decided what I was going to read, it just was too late into the day, so oh well, but I will get my 100 pages done. It's just a bit more of a challenge. Good morning. So I did end up reading just 100 pages yesterday. It was really hard, I'm not gonna lie, because usually I can get like max 20 pages in before going to bed, like when I'm reading on my e-reader, just because it relaxes me and puts me to sleep. But I had 30 pages to read, and that was actually really hard, but I did manage to do it. So this morning I got up early once again, and I have been getting a head start, so I'm already 60 pages out of my 100 in, and it is only 7 a.m. So it's the 20th, and I realized it has been a hot second since I have given you guys an update on my month of reading 100 pages. So I have been doing well. I still have been keeping up with it. I will say this past week has been a little bit more tough. So I was doing all my reading in the morning, and I've also been working on getting up at 5 in the morning every day, and that has been like going pretty well, but now the gyms have reopened where I live, so I have been going to the gym for 6 a.m. every morning. So I used to get up at 5 and then I would read for the first couple of hours of my day, but now that I go to the gym at first, I need to like try and find the reading time later, which has kind of led to a little bit of a lower page count than usual, but still hitting those 100 pages. It's just like there have been a couple of days where I just hit those 100 pages, whereas other days like today, I think I've read like 200, and some days I read 150. Like I don't think I've ever gotten to 300. I can't really remember off the top of my head right now, but I will go over that like at the end of my experiment, how much I actually read for each day. But I did just finish today my 11th book of the month, so that's really exciting. So I finished, it's just right behind the camera here, but I finished with Love and Olives by Jenna Evans Welch, and I read more than 200 pages of this today, and now I'm just trying to decide what I'm going to read next. That's really what's tripping me up right now, is that like I usually kind of have a plan in mind of where I'm going to go with my next read, and it makes things really easy because then like whenever I'm done with my current read, I just move on to that one right away. But not knowing really like just messes me up, which is super silly. But I had been hoping for something quick and fun and kind of lighthearted, and this wasn't that. I knew it wasn't going to be entirely lighthearted, but it was like a really adventurous story, but it wasn't a quick read. I found the pacing to be quite slow. So now I'm just hoping for a contemporary that's going to be lighthearted, quick, and fun. And then I'm going to get to, I think maybe a historical fiction from there. I'm not too sure, but I kind of want to read like fantasies and historical fictions right now, but I also don't want to burn myself out, which is why I'm trying to take a break for something a little bit more fun. But I am like trying to figure out the balance of finding that reading time and getting those 100 pages in. Like, I have been having a lot of fun with my reading this month still. It's been going great, and I don't feel like I'm forcing myself to read those 100 pages either. It is like a goal that I want to meet and that I enjoy having that challenge every day. So I will continue with that, and I will hopefully give you like another update that's not like, I feel like it's been more than a week since I've updated you, so I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm hoping that like my next read I'll be able to get through pretty quickly, because this one did kind of go slowly, and the book before that I've kind of been slowing down, but like I said, still hitting those 100 pages, which is what matters. Hello, so I just wanted to do a little update again. So it is the 26th of the month, so we are closing out the month, and I have moved on to my 16th book so far, so still going well. I would say I definitely have started to kind of lose steam a little bit in this last part of the month, but today was pretty good. Like today, it wasn't easy 100 pages, but the last couple of days I did kind of have to push myself, because what I've kind of learned is if I don't do it in the morning, I really struggle to find the time to do it. So I try and do it, like now I try and do it when I get back from the gym, but it like just throws me off completely if I don't get it out of the way right away. And not even out of the way, but like if I don't start my day that way, because when I read at night, as much as like that's another time where I really enjoy reading, I'm very tired and it puts me to sleep. So I can only get through like 30 pages max then. But I have still been like achieving my goals here. So we've got a couple days left, and I will try, I might be able to finish the 16th book. We shall see. But yeah, I'm really happy with how things have been going. I haven't really surpassed that 200 page mark in the past little bit, but I'm totally okay with that. Like, it's still been going really well. Hello everyone. So please excuse my wet, dry hair. I literally just got it wet. Like, I didn't shampoo it or anything, so it is pretty gross right now, but I wanted to give you guys an update because today is February 28th. So it is the last day of February. It is the last day of my 100 pages a day for a month challenge. And I actually have read more than 200 pages today, because I was like, I want to round it out and finish that 15th book. I want to finish one last book, and I ended up doing that. So I finished with, it's already back on the shelf or else I would show you right now, but I finished with Star Daughter by Shveta Thakrar, and I did really like it. I had a few issues with it, but I enjoyed it, but I will talk about it more in a recent reads video. But now for how this little experiment went. I really enjoyed this. It was definitely challenging, but not so challenging that it's something that I never want to do again. I felt like 100 pages a day was attainable. There were some days that were easier than others, and it especially became harder in the latter half of the month when gyms reopened. So it wasn't like I had the morning to just read anymore, because I like to go to the gym first thing in the morning and get that out of the way. So it wasn't like I could do that anymore, because I was going to the gym first thing in the morning, instead of usually what I would do is first thing in the morning, sit down, have my coffee, and read while I was doing that. So not having that in like immediately in the morning definitely kind of made it a bit more challenging. And then on days when my boyfriend was off too, that made it really challenging, because then I had the distraction of him being awake and wanting to talk to me. So then it just became kind of difficult to find that reading time certain days, where before I was getting my 100 pages a day done like the very first thing that I did that day. I would finish it by like 9. So it was great, because I had it done already. Similar to going to the gym, how I get that done and then it's done already, you know? So it was just kind of like a different sort of time frame that I had to do it in, and I found myself sometimes really having to try and stay up at night to squeeze in those last few pages, but I did end up doing it for the whole month. I know that I'm kind of cheating because I chose February to do this, but that was just the decision I made, and we're just going to put up with that. It's fine. It's still like, it helped me to read 15 books in 28 days, which there's a lot of people who read more and there's people who read less, which is totally fine. But I felt like I was pushing myself, and I enjoyed that. I loved the challenge there. So going forward with March, I'm going to give myself the goal of reading 50 to 100 pages, because while 100 pages was attainable, I think 50 is a better, more reasonable goal for those days when I'm kind of struggling to squeeze in those extra pages. So most days I did actually, I forgot that I wrote down my page numbers every day. So as you can see, I did for most of the days like surpass 100 pages. There's only, I think, a couple of days where I just hit the 100 page mark, and that's all that I could do. The rest of the days I really like surpassed it and sometimes even went crazy past it. But I think because I was pushing myself to read those 100 pages, then I would be like, well, I'm almost at the end of the book. So then I would just keep going. So I think with the goal of 50, I might like push to get to 100, and then might like the same thing might happen. I don't really know. I just like having the goal of reading more. It like something like this challenges me and pushes me to do that. So if you don't read like this much, don't feel bad about it, because I know every now and again like people are like, oh, I only read one book. Like that's totally fine. If you read 1 page a day, that's awesome. Like there are some months where I read no books. There are some months where I read 1 book, and then there are some months where I read a lot. It just like, try not to compare yourself to other people in terms of reading. I know it's hard not to, but your reading speed also comes into account. Like I'm a fairly fast reader, but it also kind of depends on the book. There are some books that I feel like I'm trudging through and it takes me forever, but it was really interesting to see how pushing myself was. I didn't find that it was making me enjoy the books any less. I actually really enjoyed most of the books that I read. Like there's nothing that I hated. There were a couple of books that I kind of had meh feelings about, but for the most part, I really loved everything. So I totally realized that I never actually showed you all the books that I ended up reading this month. So here's just a picture of Charlie with the stack of books that I ended up finishing in February while I was doing this challenge. So these are all 15 books that I read, and I have done recent reads, like little mini spoiler-free reviews videos for most of these, and any that I haven't done will be coming out in the next little bit. So I'll have those linked down below though if you wanted to check them out and hear more in-depth thoughts about these books. And it was so nice to like finish a book so quickly, because I usually will like get bored. So having a new world and a new story every couple of days, because I was really finishing books in 2 to 3 days, it was awesome to like keep on having something new to read. And I felt like I was going through my TBR really quickly, and I was super excited to read. One of the roadblocks that I ran into was when I didn't have a book that I was currently reading when I woke up in the next morning. It took me forever to choose something, because it always takes me forever to choose what I'm going to read next, because I never know. I'm like, well, I could read this, I could read this. Like, I just want to read everything. So then I end up just not making a decision, not reading anything. So that definitely kind of made my reading slow down a little bit. But once I figured out what I was reading, then like I got with things. But it did mean I had kind of a later start in that reading day. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So I would recommend trying a challenge like this if you don't think it's going to be something where you're going to be stressed out and feel like reading is a chore. I think it's fun to push yourself and see how many pages you can read in a day. And 100 for me was definitely an attainable goal. And I'm super proud of myself for hitting it every single day for the month of February. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you liked it, and I will see you in a new one soon. Bye!